Hatabak is tobacco that we know. Derech l'shroisoi b'sheichar. It is customary. It is customary back then that they would soak the tobacco in sheichar. Sheichar is beer. B'ktsas mekaymus. In some places, to give it a flavor, so even today you go to a tobacco store. I enjoy a cigar from time to time. You have those scent. You have wine flavor. You have different flavor cigars, whatever it is. But there used to be the custom that they used to soak the tobacco in beer. Beer, obviously, is chametz. So tzarich l'soigroi b'cheder. Therefore, halachically, Rabbi said, pay attention. I don't know how many people in this class smoke. Therefore, because sheicher is chametz, so the tobacco, the cigarette, becomes chametz. Before Pesach, you have to lock it up in a room. Oy lasois mechitza lefanav. Or, Pesach, tell it to the Marines. Oy lasois mechitza lefanav. Or you have to make a mechitza, a divider, a separation before, in front of the chametz. Now, basically, what are these two halachas? Because Al Rebbe basically says that this would be a case of chametz. Whatever you were to do for chametz. Now, the typical chametz, you would do beer chametz. You would destroy it. Beer chametz. You're not destroying this. Why aren't you destroying it? Even though this is an interesting case, because back then, the concept of mechiras chametz was also a tricky thing, because back then we have different categories. We have, I once gave one of my shiurim in Hilchos Pesach puts everything in perspective. We do bedikas chametz, where we search for chametz to find what we have in our possession. When we find everything, what do we do with the chametz? What we do with it is we get rid of it. We destroy it. We don't want to have any chametz. Beer chametz, we destroy it. We get rid of it. But that's not true. What happens to all your cereal? What happens to all your food that you're going to eat after Pesach? Originally, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, they didn't have all the luxuries that we have right now. They didn't have storages of cereals and foods that they had. Oh, after Pesach, we have a lot of food. They lived day to day, week to week. So what they had, they got rid of. They made sure there's no chametz, and after Pesach, they started all over again. But eventually, they had this issue, and especially the storage places. So they started this takanas chacham of mechiras chametz. Mechiras chametz. Now, mechiras chametz is a whole to do, because mechiras chametz has to be for real. It can't look like a trick, because it has to be a real deal. So there's a whole setup. And one of my classes, I went through it, how it is a real transaction, because you cannot make a trick. There has to be a real sale. Anyway, so this tobacco, the tobacco, now that you're saying that it is chametz, so it has to be put away. It has to be locked away. It's interesting that what he is saying here. It has to be locked away and put away in a mechitza lefanav. It's very, very interesting that he doesn't say that you have to destroy it. He doesn't say you have to even mention it in the beer chametz or in the mechiras chametz, because if it is chametz, then you have to do something to it. It cannot be there. So we'll put that aside. But we'll put that aside from some other time. Let's discuss the just general issue. That here there is tobacco, that the Magen Avraham / the Alter Rebbe says that because the tobacco, the cigarette, is made with the process of the cigarette is made by soaking in beer, boom, problem. So, who is one of the first ones that has an issue with the problem? Is the Yaivitz. The Yaivitz goes as far as saying, Dover zeh hu tamua ma'oid. This strict halacha is shocking, very funny, and he could come about against it from many, many ways. Many reasons why a cigarette should not be an issue. Let's start about it. Let's analyze it like this. The cigarette is not being made on Pesach. Remember, the cigarettes you're buying in the store today, and your cigarette you're going to put away before Pesach, or your cigarette you're going to have already made during Pesach. So let's analyze this like this. I'm gonna read it in a longer version because on my whiteboard because of the space I only quoted the most important words, but I'm gonna read the longer version and it's safer. Mashakasav Magen Avram, the Indian Isra tobacco, what the Magen Avram says that smoking tobacco is a problem. Dover Zarhu B'Tamur Ma'id. It's extremely strange and very shocking. Let's assume that it's 100% true, and not even assumption, but like the Alter Rebbe and the Magen Avram say that some places do it. Let's say it's 100% true. Let's say that is a custom that everybody soaks the tobacco leaves in beer. You know what? Even if somebody wants you to chew that tobacco on Pesach, he would be permitted to do so. Why? Because since the beer in the tobacco is not there for the taste, when is it being done? Many times you've heard from me in the Pesach Shiurim that there is that chumrah amongst many people that there's a nice chunk of people that they cook all their food before Pesach. All their Pesach food they're going to eat, they're going to cook them before Pesach, and throughout Pesach they only warm up their food. Why are they cooking all their food before Pesach? Because chametz on Pesach is major issues of problematic of becoming buckled. Because chametz Pesach is asher v'mashu to the Rabbanon. Chametz before Pesach becomes buckled, the shishim. Because chametz before Pesach is still not asher. So they want all their food to be cooked before Pesach. So even if chas v'shalom there was some chametz in there, it became buckled, right? So listen to this, says the Yaivitz. When was the cigarette made? When was the tobacco made, the cigar made? It was made before Pesach. The beer, the barley beer, whatever the tobacco was soaking in, was there. Lav l'taima, I don't know why it would be soaking there if it's not there for spice or for flavor, whatever it is. It was chorchoi koydem zmanei. Chorchoi koydem zmanei means it was cooked there before the taste. It was burnt there before its time. Afilu hava mili the yav timer, even if it would have given taste, if to lay koydem Pesach, it would have become bottled. The shari, it would have been mutar. Hashta the lav needed the meichalu. Now that it's not even a food item. V'hasheichar nifsad miyad. Shita the iser chametz azolei legamri miyad shenivlo in a tabak. The shuv einei roi afil achilas keler. So let me explain what he just said. He just gave two heter. Heter number one is it's being done before Pesach. Because it's being made before Pesach, even if sheichar is a chametz, and even if it is giving taste, the sheichar, the beer, is giving taste in the tobacco, it became bottled. It wasn't done, it became bottled, and if it became bottled, it's over, it's mutter. Another thing is, it didn't give taste. It's nifsal me'achilas kelev. What does nifsal me'achilas kelev mean? Chametz has levels to it. A slice of bread is chametz. A piece of cake is chametz. You know, when you go to the store, you'll see today that even thyme, even a steel wool, even the silver foil pans have hechsherim. Why? So some people laugh, some people make jokes, but the discussion. What are the discussions? The discussions are: do certain things need hechsher? Or do we say it reached even if there is chametz? Let's say the starch that might be put in there, or certain things, even if there is chametz there, it's so far beyond that it's nifsal me'achilas kelev. Even a dog won't eat it. So if a dog won't eat it, it's chametz nuksha, and chametz nuksha, it's not even chametz anymore, and it's mutter and finished. The sheichar, this taste of chametz, this beer, that's tasted, even if it is flavor, and even if it is chametz, in this cigar, in this cigarette, is nothing more than nifsal me'achilas kelev. That nothing more than a dog won't eat. It's untasty. So how could you consider it a problem for chametz? So these are the two reasons why the Yavit jumps on the chumrah of the Magen Avram. So I'm going to underline both of his reasons why he wants to be matir. First of all, it's koydem zmane. Number one, koydem. Koydem Pesach. And koydem Pesach is even if it would give a taste. Chametz before Pesach becomes batel. How much, we're learning Basar B'cholov and Tarubis, you know that every Issa becomes, most of the Issa become batel b'shishim. And on top of that, over here, it's not even a regular Issa because this flavor is nifsal achilas kelev. It has no flavor. Okay, so now you're going to tell me that your assumption is wrong. Your assumption is wrong. Why? Why is my assumption wrong? This is still part of the Yavitz. Apogav the machnis ashnoi letoich bil. I am, when you inhale a cigarette, you're inhaling the smoke into your mouth. So after all, I'm gaining some type of hana from the smoke of this, from the chametz. Since when is that an issue? Since when is in smoking chametz an issue? For those who learn Siman Kuf Ches and Tarubis, you know that that's not an issue. Because we learn Reicha Lav Milsehi, right? Reicha, scent is not an issue. Scent is untangible. This is all the Yavitz. Avol Gav the Machnis Ashnei L'Teiftiv, even though the smoke goes into your mouth, Hano Greda B'Lechud, that's just plain old Hano Kireach, it's just scent. So all this, I'm going to put in a green big box. This is the first opinion to challenge the Chumrah of the Ramah, the Chumrah of the Magen Avram. The Magen Avram held that you should not smoke on. I said the Magen Avram. I said the Magen Avram. Yeah, it is the Magen Avram. Magen Avraham said you should not smoke because it's soaked in beer. The Yavitz is the one that's challenging it. Okay, that's the first one. Now let me put the green. The first one is the red, is the Alter Rebbe on the Magen Avraham. Now, what other reasons may there be? Comes further, the Shiloh Shuvas Tferes Yosef brings other reasons to be makel. It's interesting. More and more are going to lean towards the heter. You know, a lot of times when you read about these topics, the Gemara talks about a story about Rabbi Gamaliel, I think it was, that he walked out of a bathhouse on Shabbos and he saw people using towels on Shabbos, or gone to the shilas, and he says, it's better don't tell them what they're doing. It might be wrong because they might not listen anyways. Sometimes when there's a dispute in halacha, sometimes you get the feeling that the poskim are trying to find the reason why things should be permitted because they saw the people are doing it already, and you're not going to change them rather than that's the right thing to do. You know, something like this to keep people from stopping the smoke. Sometimes, if it's so bad, and it's a shaila of chametz where people that plastic up their whole house on Pesach to make a different makeover, and here it's a big deal. Don't smoke. Yeah, whatever. The shaila is Shuvas Tiferes Yosef. He adds two more svaras. I'll tell you which box I'm doing now. I'm doing this box now. His two more svaras are, which is, everyone adds another angle to it, but you know, every angle has issues. We know that chametz on Pesach is an Isser Mashu, right? But his angle is the beer is Einoi Be'ein. Einoi Be'ein means you don't see it. You see tobacco. You don't see beer. And another thing is, the beer is Pachas Mikashir, the Einoi Nicker Klau. So how could you make such an issue about the beer in the cigarette? The Divrei Chaim, which is, again, the Divrei Chaim also impresses me. If you know anything about the Divrei Chaim, you know the Divrei Chaim was such a zealous fighter. He was always on the team to be machmir for everything and anything. And here, suddenly he's a big makel. So that's why I think that this is because this is something that they felt that they couldn't fight City Hall. The Divrei Chaim says a svara. Listen, what's going to be when somebody smokes a cigarette? Are they really going to smoke the chametz? Is there going to be, how much chametz is there going to, let's say that in a tub of tobacco, in a tub of 100 pounds of tobacco, there is a bottle of beer. Let's say, I don't know, give me a measurement. Let's say that in a tub of 100 pounds of tobacco, there is a gallon of beer. Okay? And then they make that into a cigarette. When I smoke a cigarette, am I going to actually smell beer? Is there going to be a Tom chametz there? Most probably not. And even if there will be, even if you're going to push me against the wall and say, Rabbi, well, be frum, it's Pesach, be machmer, say there is chametz. Are you going to tell me there is enough chametz b'chdei achilas pras? There is a shear for chametz. What's the shear chametz? One second, please. Hello? I'm in a little class right now, sorry. The shear is kadayis b'chdei achilas pras. The shear of chametz is to eat a shear of chametz of a kadayis b'chdei achilas pras, as long as Are you going to have so much chametz in that cigarette? It's impossible. All you might have is a mashu. Excuse me. Combine all this, that you might have a mashu, and that mashu was put in there before Pesach. Before Pesach, it becomes batul. Don't worry about it. David, you with me? Is everybody with me? So what do we have? We're still with the Alter Rebbe quotes the Magen Avraham, who suggests to stay away from cigarettes. How does a mashu become batul? No, but he's saying a mashu. Very good question, by the way. A mashu on Pesach, nothing becomes batul. But before Pesach, even more than a mashu becomes batul. But he's saying that because you don't even have more than a mashu, and on top of that, it's only done before Pesach, it becomes batul. The combination of both. Then there is a practical thing. Another svara. And by the way, after I'm done, maybe Dr. Bitan will give us a medical view if a person should smoke, period. Maybe he should tell us in general how medically the person should smoke. But in Shilas at Shuvas Truth Tam V'das, Yeridea Simin Kuf Lamed Aleph, he says, well, excuse me, what's going on here? You're telling me that you shouldn't smoke a cigarette because by smoking a cigarette, you are what? You're having hana from chametz. You're not, slow down. You're not eating the chametz. That's not eating it, right? You're not eating the chametz. You're going to shift it over. You're going to say you're having hana from chametz. Okay. Is that called having hana? What does hana mean? Hana mean, typically you say, jengi. You sell something, you make money, it's called having hana. That's called hana. What is hana? Derech hana, the way you make hana, the regular way of how to have hana, is smoking something, having pleasure by smoking something. Is that called having hana? Or is that called shaloi kederech hana? So he brings an example. Yayin sarab, mashka. For example, mayin mashka. Right? If somebody were to take mashka and sniff it and say, "Whoa, it smells so good," is that called having a no? From mashka? No. Ask the shikr. Tell the guys in the bar, today's special. We're giving you all, instead of to drink the beer, to sniff the beer. They'll throw you head first out of the bar. We're not sniffing nothing. We're drinking the bar. We're drinking the beer, right? What's the point? What's my point? They want to drink it. To sniff sheikhar is not hana. There is no hana in sniffing sheikhar. There is no hana in smoking sheikhar. That's shaloi kederech hanasam. The smoke part from sheikhar is not hana. So there is no hana from chametz. It's shaloi kederech hanasam. So boom, 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 boom. These 1, 2, 3, 4 reasons bombard the opinion of the Alter Rebbe and the Magen Avraham why we should be machmir. Why we should be machmir on smoking on Pesach. One second. 1 second. I want to give you some more. All right, hold on. Let me go on to the next page here. Now, 1 second. Now, here there's another problem. The next problem is that there is a din called achshevei. The din of achshevei means that there are certain things. Achshevei means machshava. Machshava means thought. You know, like in Moshe Netilas Yadayim, there's dinim. What did you write here? Doesn't smoking add a benefit? Otherwise, why do it? Similarly, if there's a benefit from adding beer, why did they add it? Very good, very good. I'm gonna discuss your issue right now. I'm going to discuss your issue. Tough men base. 1 second. I'm going to discuss your issue. There is a halacha called achshevei. I'll give you an introduction to that. 1 second. In Siman Tach Mem Beis, there's a whole discussion about certain chametz, which is bad. For example, I'm going to read you 3 seifim here, okay? Siman Tach Mem Beis, Seif Lamed Beis, Now Rebbe Shlomo Aruch. Chametz shenis apesh v'nifsa me'achilas keller. Chametz which became moldy, it's so bad that even the dog can't eat it. Oy shesarfei ba'eish kodim zman avir, or it was burnt and became burned completely. Again, even a dog can't eat it. Even though halachically you can keep it in your house there for Pesach, you're not allowed to eat it. Even though you're allowed to keep it at your house at Pesach because it is nifso machilas kelev, you can't keep it at your home. Even though it's not considered food, so why can't I eat it? And this is the reason, was probably what the Alter Rebbe and the Magen Avraham said, that the cigarette does not have to be burnt. All you have to do is put a cover or lock it up for the same reason. The Kalmach, nevertheless, since it's something that you want to eat, if this chametz is burnt, it's toasted, roasted, they're burnt completely. But since you want to eat it, harehu machshivay la'achila. This is responding to what David Kaplan writes. If you want to eat it, in your standard, you just elevated it to an edible food. So the Chachamim consider it for you like your food. A person is entitled, a person is able to make himself his own standard for the good and for the bad. We know this in so many halachas. A person in his chatzita in his hand, what's considered chatzita in his hand, what means hygiene, what's cleanliness. In so many halachas, we know a person creates his own standard. The same in chametz. Even though that for a normal standard person, this is unedible food. And guess what? It's even nifso me'achilas kelev. Even a dog won't eat this. But if you want to eat this, you're not allowed to, because the second you say you're going to eat it, you just made it edible food again. Says the Alter Rebbe. This is only if he intends to eat it. If, however, he wants to eat something else, if, however, he wants to eat something else, and this item, which is nifsa machilas keler, fell in there. If this item is a meal, if the other item is the right, mutar lachlei. If the other item is the majority, you're allowed to. The einay choishes l'chametz zeh, kivon she'ein zeh v'skarvin k'dei lachlei. Again, this is shows us the perspective of how we look at it. This item is really junk. This item is completely junk. So if this food fell into kosher food, you don't care. Between me and you and the lamppost, if a piece of dust falls into a nice dish, a lot of people would say, you know what, just ignore it and eat the dish, eat whatever else it is. Some people are very, very sensitive. They'll throw away the food. There are other people just, I know there's something there, but I'll just ignore it. Just as you do with dust, the same would be even in a chametz if it's nifsal me'achilas keler. As long as there is right kosher food, it'll be fine. It doesn't make that chametz because of achshavei. The same, the Alter Rebbe goes on to yoy. Yoy is ink. Ink, shabishle goy b'sheicher. Ink used to be cooked with beer. A goy that cooked beer, the toicha Pesach. The Alter Rebbe says that you're not allowed to use that beer on Yom Tov because we are afraid that you're gonna use that pen and stick it into your mouth. The ink in the pen is nifsal me'achilas keler, said the Alter Rebbe, but it was too late because the guy made it on Yom Tov. Since he made it on Yom Tov, it's too late. If the guy would have made it before, it might have been easier. Okay, this is a discussion as an introduction. Back to our question. If achshavei, the concept of your standard, elevates chametz, which is nifsal me'achilas keler, to a problem, let's talk about the cigarette. The cigarette has sheikhar. Now, one of the heterim, sheikhar is beer. One of the heterim was, because even if there is chametz, the chametz is nifsal me'achilas keler. But it's not really nifsal me'achilas keler. Because, for me, it's something I want. It's achshavei. It's something that I like. And as David Kaplan says, I want it there. And if I want it there, doesn't my standard kick in to make it a problem? And that's a shayla the Shuvas Minchas Yitzchak asks. Minchas Yitzchak is the dying rights. And he answers, in this case, the shayla of achshavei does not kick in. Because achshavei only is something, a standard about food. Like we mentioned before, when you want to eat something, is this a standard thing that you want to eat or not? Are you ready to eat the food or not? You're not eating this. You're smoking it. So by the fact that you're smoking it doesn't show chashivus to the chametz that's being in that of the beer, doesn't show any chashivus to the chametz that's in the cigarette, in the tobacco. So again, I'm going to put this also in part of the heter. Over again, we are finding a heterim. And the Stei Chemed really comes to a conclusion based on all this, based on everything I said, even though the Magen Avraham, the Alter Rebbe says you have to be machmir. It says, based on everything I say, Hichriya leheter. The Maram Shik, however, says, I hold that machshavte mashvele lahai chavetz. The Maram Shik agrees with David Kaplan. A guy wants a cigarette is because he has an addiction to the cigarette. He likes the taste. He needs the pleasure. He has this feeling for it. That connection to the cigarette, that desire for the cigarette, that pleasure he has for the cigarette, that chashivus, it's like an addiction to food. And just like the addiction to food, that pleasure he gets from food is the hano that you can't have on Pesach. It's like a chila or shia. The same would be the same. Just like achshave for achila is a problem, the achshave for smoking is a problem. And the difference is, by ink, the chashivas, the chametz, doesn't last. By the chashivas of the smoking is a chashivas that he had, that he gained. And therefore the Maram Shik is the one that does have a shtickle issue with, because of achshave, to stop smoking. Rabbi Ovadia Yosef, this is for Dr. Bitton. Rabbi Ovadia Yosef also throws in a heter here. He adds, after all this, he says, let's make a summary. Let's pile them up. What are the svekis? How many, when you buy a pack of cigarettes, let's summarize this. What are the possibilities of a problem, and what are the possibilities of a non-problem? Number one, who says there was beer in the cigarette? Who says the tobacco was soaking in beer? And that's number one. Number two, even if it was soaking in beer, maybe it was done before Pesach. And all these things we can assume it was done. When you're buying a pack of cigarettes now, especially if you're buying it before Pesach, it was done before Pesach. And even if it was done before Pesach, who says smoking is considered derech hadasa? As we mentioned before, smoking is most probably considered shaloika derech hadasa. So there is a combination of speker. So he says there's reason to allow people to smoke on Pesach. However, there are many poskim of today. There's a Moshe Sternbuch, and they say the same about Yashiv, Olav Sholem, and many of the leading poskim of the last generation. They did thorough investigation of cigarette companies, and they found out that the ingredients, the literal ingredients they put in today's in the factories that they make cigarettes, they put in different alcohol things that are pashut chametz. Now we're talking about back then, I don't know, the Alter Rebbe's times and the Magen Avram's time, beer, schmear, old-fashioned things. But they went into the factories. They did some research, and they found out they put in alcohol, different things, and I see ingredients, acid, different types of things that are pashut chametz gomer, that are here we have Ken. And Ken even posted kosher Pesach cigarettes. For those who are addicted, I have two solutions. For those who are addicted, please look at 10 kosher Pesach cigarettes. That's option number 2. Option number 1, for those who are addicted, go to your local doctor. And that's that. And actually, it is brought that the Rabbeim, some Rabbeim, they say about the Rebbe Rashab, that for Pesach, he was makbid actually to roll his own cigarettes before Pesach, even though it says the great thing about the tzaddikim, they had special kavanas in their cigarettes. We say about the Baal Shem Tov, the cigarette was a special thing, similar to Torahs. but because of all these shilas of the tobacco and all this, they stay away from the chametz. They make sure the tobacco was fresh, and they glue. There's so many shilas. I gave this share specifically so people should know that even a simple side thing about cigarette tobacco there is loads and loads of shilas involved. And I'm going to cut it short.